Hello, and welcome to Handled-ish Productivity for the Imperfect, a weekly podcast for those who want to elevate their productivity but are not looking for perfection. I'm your host, Betsy, and I am really happy you're here with me in podcast land, on YouTube, on the KC24 CBS Plus. CBS 47 Plus app that you can download from your smart TV or on the Community Media Access Collaborative, cmac.com, cmac.com. This is episode 112. Get rid of your busy brand. And this is especially top of mind right now. Those of us in higher ed are getting to the end of the semester. There's grades, finals, projects, all the things that are normal for the end of the semester. And then because it's spring, there's also graduation and end of the year ceremonies and grants to apply for and all kinds of end of the year deadlines. So this is a very chaotic time. And so I am hearing, and sadly, I'm also saying the word busy all the time. And it helps me reflect on something that I feel very strongly about, that busy should never be our brand. When someone asks us how we are and we say busy, it really actually can harm our ability to accomplish our goals. It can also harm our ability to get involved in some really cool stuff. When someone asks you how you are and you respond busy, it sort of ends the conversation. Or it ends up being like a flex contest, right? Like, oh my gosh, I hear you. I'm so busy too, right? And everyone's sort of like trying to, prove that they're busier than anybody else, which what on earth would we want that prize for? I've done it. I'm sure you've done it. It's ridiculous, right? Objectively, well, subjectively, from my perspective, it's ridiculous to have a little contest mentally or out in the world verbally, talking about how, you're busy and someone else is busy and who's busier than anybody else. It's crazy. And the other thing, so it can do that, right? It can get into a whole spiral of why people are busy, how people are busy, who's busier, blah, blah, blah. Totally not helpful. It can also, in the mind of the person that you're talking to, sort of take you out of all of the loops and all of the equations. Because if someone believes that you are too busy to have anything added to your plate, that means that they're not going to look for opportunities for you. That means that they're not going to include you in potential collaborations. That means that they're also not going to include you in fun things, right? Because if you're too busy to say anything about how busy you are, why would I invite you to somewhere fun? Because you're just going to tell me no, right? That's what's going on in people's heads. So it is a really bad practice. And I'm preaching to myself in addition to hopefully preaching to the choir, to answer, how are you, with the word busy, and or keep talking about how busy you are. The same thing kind of goes with if you answer, oh God, I'm so tired. And then you get into a whole like, who's more tired and who gets the least sleep? And again, who would want that? Who would want that championship? Also stressed, same thing. Oh my gosh, I'm so stressed. And then again, spiral of stress spiral, competition with stress spiral. Again, nobody wants to have first place in the stress Olympics or the tired Olympics or the busy Olympics. Okay. That is not a first place. That is not a gold medal that any of us, if we are really thinking logically about our lives, that's not what any of us want. So, what can we do instead? Instead of answering with, I'm busy, I'm tired, I'm stressed, and starting down all of those paths that are not useful or happy or pleasant, I think we would all agree. Let's do something else, right? Let's get rid of our busy brand. This is my challenge to myself during this super wild time of the semester. Notice I didn't say busy or stressful. And how can we do this a little bit better? So, I'm also issuing this challenge to you, not just myself. So when someone asks how you are, you can answer a myriad of different ways. Something that I think you might enjoy is to pick a project that you're working on and answer with some information about that project. How are you? Oh my goodness. Can I just tell you about this project that I'm involved in? X partner just came on board, or in my case, my students just did this with this particular client, or I'm really excited about applying for this grant, or I made the most amazing birthday cake for my son, right? So these are all kinds of things that you could talk about either personally or professionally about things that are going on with you that you genuinely are getting joy from and or are feeling a sense of accomplishment. This gives the conversation somewhere to go, right? The person can ask follow-up questions. The person can share something that they're excited about or proud of. And then you get into this upward spiral, right? So it's the exact opposite of what we were talking about earlier. And then your brand just expands, right? Your relationships just expand. And people potentially are going to think about you for new things or new opportunities or share ideas or invite you to fun things because they've heard about something cool that you're doing, but they're not being reminded by you that you have a lot going on. And even if the new projects, the collaborations, the fun things that you ultimately get excited, or excuse me, get invited to, you don't want to do, I think we would all agree that we at least want the opportunity to say no rather than someone opting us out without our involvement, which is what we're doing when we answer questions like, how are you? What's going on? Have you been with busy, tired, or stressed? So we're never going to do that again. We're going to have better answers. You can even have one or two or three word pleasant answers, right? That are based on words that you would actually use. I think again, my advice is to think about, something interesting that you're involved in or something you're proud of or something you're feeling joyful about and share that when someone asks how you are, what you're doing or what you're up to. And see how that goes. See how that feels for you. I'm pretty sure it's going to feel better rather than that downward spiral of busyness or stress or tiredness. It's going to be a spiral up. I think you're going to be more elevated. I think the person you're talking to is going to be more elevated. You can also do this in text and via email, right? This doesn't have to be a verbal conversation. But let's level up a little bit and let's get rid of that busy brand. It doesn't serve any of us in any way. And I think there's some good stuff that can happen as a result. So I'm so excited to double down on this myself. This is something I work on, but I'm human. I'm imperfect, like the title of the podcast, so I mess up too. So let's really double down and concentrate on that this week. And I can't wait to hear how it goes. Please share how it goes, what your thoughts are, what you choose to say, and we can celebrate that together. Thank you. Until then, have the most amazing week. And remember, you are doing way better than you think you are. Trust me.